Hello everyone and welcome to Captain's Video Blog. We are Tuesday, July the 5th, 2016. Actually we're Wednesday morning, it's like 7 a.m. And I fucked up in my task to at least try and go to sleep early because after Raw I actually didn't sleep at all until not in late in the evening, late in the afternoon. Um, I originally wanted, at one point I was pretty sure that I was going to go to sleep, but then I had to cook, and there was the possibility that people would come by, and I was like, well, shit. So I actually slept during, most of the evening. I really woke up around midnight. Um, so yeah, not really proud of that. Uh, this might go over 15 minutes because we're going to talk about a lot of wrestling. Um, but first off, Tour de France. I saw the stage. It was the longest stage in the race, with 230 something kilometers. Uh, Strangely enough, at one point there was a breakaway with 6 minutes. They were 6 minutes ahead of the peloton, and I went to take my shower at that point. So we were probably like in the third hour of the race, maybe. Yeah, something like that. And I took my shower, got dressed and all, and the the time had fallen to something like a minute and a half. They held on until I don't really know actually, because there was this moment where I went into the village because I had to do some stuff, because apparently I'm the only person reliable enough for that kind of shit. Uh, um, and I ended up coming back just for the end of the stage. But I think the breakaway uh, got caught by the last 30 kilometers, I guess. Yeah. Um, but yeah, that it's a bit sad that it looked like the peloton was playing with them, and that's kind of what I really don't like about recent Tour de France, uh, because in earlier editions when I watched the little documentaries about the history of the Tour de France, there's always this period where you see that there's one guy and then another guy and then another guy over the course of maybe 50 kilometers that attack, and the peloton cannot really do anything, and they chase for almost all the whole stage, and sometimes they get caught, and sometimes they reach the velodrome and win the stage. But then again, this was a time where the longest stage of the Tour de France could be 300 something kilometers, and usually it would go, something like 200 kilometers, 220 would be something pretty standard. Where in this day and age, over 200 kilometers is already pretty long. It's a bit of a madness. So yeah, and we don't arrive in the drums anymore. Now they arrive on large avenues. They lost their way, man. No, I'm just kidding. I really still love cycling for the off chance that uh, some some dude that's usually wouldn't be considered for a victory just manages to hold off the peloton until the very end. Like 2 years ago, there was this stage that arrived in Nîmes, and it looked like the breakaway was doomed 100 kilometers the um, from the finish line. It looked like they were doomed, but then there was a lot of rain where the breakaway had already gone by, and the peloton was just arriving, so they had to really pretty much stop. And it looked like they would, manage to hold it, to do it, and they got caught literally 500 meters before the finish line, and that was really sad. But this year, 2 times in a row, we had to wait until the photo finish gave its verdict to see who had won. And that makes still 0 victories, 0 stage wins for a French racer, which is always a bit sad. But to be fair though, uh, maybe winning a stage isn't that great when you compare with the fact that no French racer has won the Tour de France in over 30 years. I think the last one was who was it? Oh yeah, it was Laurent Fignon, just before Greg LeMond. Uh, that was a very very dramatic win. With the 40 seconds, with that was that's the relic of another time when you had the grand finish on the Champs-Élysées, and it was a time trial, and Laurent Fignon had like a minute over Greg LeMond in general standings, and he lost the maillot jaune by 8 seconds. So yeah, that's a lot of drama. Anyway, yeah. So we're gonna talk a bit about wrestling, because I stayed awake until now really because of wrestling. I have virtually no anime to watch, despite the fact that obviously I'm filling up my computer's hard drive with that shit, because I don't watch too much of it. So yeah. We're gonna start with Raw, which was pretty bad actually. Like, it was the 4th of July, and when they announced that there would be Team USA versus the rest of the world, I was like, the USA are gonna win. And then I saw the lineup, and I was like, there's no way the USA are gonna win. But then with the night advancing and every match having a wrestler from the USA against a wrestler from another country, ending up with the wrestler from the USA losing, even in the women's division, with Becky Lynch winning against Summer Rae. It started with Rusev winning for the United States Championship against Titus O'Neil, dressed as fucking Apollo Creed, and Apollo Creed, that's if he dies, he dies, and he dead. So yeah, the Miz lost to Dean Ambrose in what looked pretty much like the guy from the US. The Miz was playing the heel, saying that he was probably prouder of his Canadian wife rather than, prouder than being American. Prouder of being American. I don't know. So yeah, that was pretty lousy booking, and the main event had the Big Show being pretty much captain of Team USA, and while Zack Ryder had the pin over both Cesaro and Chris Jericho or Sheamus. I don't know, but it was pretty bad. Um, Especially with the fact that Team USA looked more as like a team than the multinational alliance with Cesaro going on an uppercut rampage on everyone, including his team members. Uh, there was a bit where I really don't understand how the rules even worked. Owens gave a sure shot to Sami Zayn and he was disqualified. I don't get it because he's in the same team. And then Kane gave a sure shot to Owens, but Owens was already disqualified, so Kane got disqualified for some reason. This hurts my brain. Enzo and Cass are on John Cena's corner against the club, but the club had a very enticing chant which was beating up John Cena, and it gives you energy. So yeah, the New Day might be on the road to their dissolution because well the Wyatt family cut a promo that was very reminiscent of broken Matt Hardy. Apparently the guys that were on tour in Tokyo saw the Hardys video, so maybe that has a link. And Xavier Woods said that you had to take the Wyatts seriously because they are probably the biggest threat to New Day and the power of positivity. And he walked out of the ring, and Big E and Kofi Kingston were obviously pretty shocked. I thought that Xavier, probably everyone thought that Xavier was being possessed, but he actually was the voice of reason in that respect. So I guess that it's pretty. It's getting really interesting, to be quite honest. Talking about Hardy versus Hardy, so I stayed awake especially to watch the final deletion. And when I finally managed to watch TNA, I was like, maybe I missed it. But then I realized you wouldn't overhype something like that just to make it your opening bout. And obviously it was the main event with more vignettes during the evening. Vignettes that were pretty amazing, with Senior Benjamin. At first not really understanding why Matt was doing all that, and then agreeing to put fuel into a lot of sand, and bringing fireworks and all that. And then there was the thing with the drones, Vanguard 1 and the hologram saying, yeah, come at dusk for the final deletion, brother Nero. And Matt Hardy playing violin in the middle of the ring. Oh, you're an official. You're a licensed official. I saw you in my premonition. You only count the pinfall and the submission, with his ridiculous accent. That he dropped halfway through the match when said, "Brother Nero, it's over." Oh shit! And to which Matt Hardy, Jeff, answered, "Damn right, oh shit." That was really entertaining. There was switch and bait with Willow being actually Senior Benjamin, and that fucking dilapidated boat. Oh god. Everything about this match was so cheesy, and the ending was pretty much what you would expect. Matt is obviously the one who knows most about Jeff, and Jeff pretty much had Matt beaten. He was choking him out in the middle of the pile of sand, and he could have gone with a phony twist of fate, but no, he decided that he would go on the cross that bears his symbol, and that he would do a swanton bomb, which that as if that worked ever. You have pretty much the win, and you decide to go for a high risk maneuver. Remember WrestleMania 23, the Money in the Bank? Matt could have won, Jeff could have won, but Matt said, "Yeah, jump on Edge," and he did, the absolute madman, and he didn't win. So yeah, um, still, it, Matt lit up on fire the whole thing, and okay, well, he nearly set himself up on fire too, at that point, and yeah, he only had to do a little something, drag Jeff over the sand and pin him, and Jeff is deleted. Brother Nero, I knew you'd come. God, when he said, I mean, when he started playing the violin and Jeff arrived, and he was like playing the violin, and with that same camera angle when you have Jeff standing behind Matt, and suddenly Matt stops playing and he stops, and I'm like, he's gonna say it. He's absolutely positively gonna say it, and he said that the sentence, and it was great. The producer, the executive producer of Lucha Underground said that it was, dumb and the worst decision. Pretty much, he implied it with a GIF. It was one of the worst decisions that TNA Creative could have taken. But I personally think that it's on par with dumb shit that WCW has done during the Attitude Era. Even though the Attitude Era is really only in WWE, and WWE has done their lots of bullshit angles during the Attitude Era, and Lucha Underground has time traveling luchadors. So I mean, the executive producer shouldn't be talking shit so much. But still, I will probably check out TNA next week, even though that's gonna end well. That's not gonna end well with for my sleep schedule, because there's going to be a title versus title. Usually you have this thing called Option C with the winner of the X Division Championship, where he relinquishes the X Division title and goes for a shot at the TNA title. But Eddie Edwards wasn't entirely sure about doing that, and Lashley gave him another option that I would guess would be called Option D, where he says, yeah, you know what, we're gonna make history, put both titles on the line, and if you win, well, you have both titles, and if I win, I rip the heart of the I rip out the heart of the X Division, which is a very great line and shows just how good somehow Lashley has gotten at cutting promos in TNA. He also has injected a lot of MMA into his fighting style, which is really good. I mean, he might become in TNA what he's never been really allowed to become in WWE, and that's a waste. Also, that's apparently going to be a match between Drew Galloway and EC3, but I don't really understand what's at stake. Oh, that was a mosquito. I really hope I'm not getting beaten. So yeah, I don't really know. We'll see about that. Anyway, so that was a pretty busy 2 evenings. I woke up in the middle of Finding Nemo, and it was really weird. So yeah, I guess I really am going to sleep right now, because, well, I can do shit while uploading. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Oh god, that's already starting lagging, so it's probably the best decision to stop now.